If you haven't heard already, we have got ourselves a new sponsor for the podcast. That's right, Aperio Athletics. You ever wish you could give back to the community and get some awesome gym gear at the same time? Aperio Athletics has you covered with 5% of all profits going towards the Canadian Mental Health Association. What a great initiative that is. Sign up for their rewards program and receive $5 off your next order. Use code JUNGLE10, I repeat, JUNGLE10, to get 10% off your first order. Visit the Aperio Athletics online store at aperioathletics.com to claim the benefits and rewards waiting for you. Be sure to follow them on Instagram and TikTok at Aperio_athletic to be the first to know all the latest product releases and exclusive offers. This podcast is sponsored by Aperio Athletics. Our next guest began his junior hockey career with the Dryden Ice Dogs in the SIJHL before moving on to the Fort Frances Lakers. He eventually came over to the Coastal Tsunami of the PJHL, where he played the majority of this season before moving on to the Kerry Park Islanders towards the end of the year, where they've just come off a big win in the first round of the playoffs. He is also the youth Chief of Saskatchewan, representing all 74 First Nations on behalf of the youth. We're very excited to welcome to the Jungle Hockey Podcast, Caige Starr.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, very happy to be here.
Good to have you on, buddy. There we go, buddy. Welcome on.
Hey, right on. Well, thanks for having me again. Obviously I got put on by Jaden Atwood after his hockey pod, so I've been listening since. So ever since day
The
one,
quality
baby.
of the quality of his interview really cooked you,
Oh
eh?
yeah, unreal.
That's great, buddy. What are you sipping on there?
Just some water, pal. Getting some recovery.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a coffee
Yeah.
mug. I was a little confused. Just waking up right now. No, that's good, man.
No, that's good. Yeah, well, I guess we'll kind of just jump into it the way we usually do. If you wouldn't mind, just tell us from your roots when you were just a kid. How did you get into hockey? Where did you get into hockey? And any role models you had that really got you into the game and just were an influence on you in your youth?
Yeah, obviously, growing up Indigenous, you're in and out of the reserve. I grew up in Regina, Saskatchewan, but I spent also a lot of days on my reserve, care of the Kettle First Nation. And one day my mom slapped on skates on me and told me to go for a whirl, and then here I am. But it's kind of a person that I really looked up to in the hockey world was for sure Jordan Tutu for sure. Obviously because he was Indigenous. Played in the MJ OCN. Hard hitter, right? He's just a big enforcer, tough guy, right? And that was
Yeah.
I was always a bigger kid, and I accept my role and I know my role. So yeah.
Were you skating on the ODR? Your mom slapped the skates on you, or were
Oh
you going to
yeah,
the
so
local rink?
so actually growing up, I actually learned how to skate on an ODR, and it was like so I grew up in
That's so
Regina,
cool.
Saskatchewan, and my grandma, she was my grandma would always take me to this ODR near our house, and not gonna lie, it's a bit of a shady area, but I learned my edges and worked on the craft then, but yeah, very very thankful for my grandma for taking me out and introducing me to the sport, and I've been sticking with it ever since.
Nice. So when you were playing your minor hockey growing up, where did you just actually play like was it like Regina minor hockey, or did you kind of switch around?
Yeah, so like I would play for I would just play on the side for fun and have like extra skates on the reserve. Well, not on my reserve, but in a
Okay.
town called Lebret. So I always skated there. And my other reserve, my dad is from Star Blanket Cree Nation, and they have a lot of support who run the it's called the Lebret Eagle Dome, and they used to have an SJ team there named the Lebret Eagles. So I used to skate in that barn all the time and
Okay.
be able to go there and just show up and go skate for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it was.
That's
Oh,
awesome,
nice. That's
dude.
sweet.
Yeah.
And then so how do you end up kind of you get to like U15 age and then eventually U17, and I see you ended up playing for the Indigenous Sports
Mm.
Academy in the CSSHL. So How did you kind of transition from minor hockey to playing there, and what was your experience like at that
How do you
academy?
even get recruited for that? Like, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's actually a funny story about how that program started. Obviously they're obviously striving every day. They're becoming a better program every year. They're becoming stronger. Whether it's education, on ice, off ice, etc. Uh, but it's just, yeah. So I honestly grew up like, I honestly, hockey was fun, but I never really took it that serious. So I was just playing like Regina U18, or no, Regina U15B. I just played house right throughout minor, and then I ended up playing my first year U18 in house, and then sure enough, I saw this program, and then I was like, man, might as well go skate. It's free skate. So I ended up going, and then they ended up inviting me back to skate to like the second ID camp. Went, and then yeah, they just signed me, and yeah, I was able to move over to Saskatoon, and yeah, yeah. So obviously it was quite the transition, going from minor hockey to an everyday schedule. You're on the ice, you're in school every day. But at the same time, it also taught me how to become, stronger mentally and physically, and be able to grow up, right? Because living away from home, we all know that you're you're basically you're basically forced to grow up on your own. You're basically forced to be put in situations that involve a lot of adversity that has to be overcome. And yeah, so that's what I learned out of that experience for sure.
That's good, man. How do you jump from, uh U17 over you had actually head out east first to Dryden, and then how do you get the call out there, and then eventually how do you make your way all the way across the fucking country to the coastal?
Yeah, no, so it's actually a funny story, but so originally my second year of U18, I was talking with Wayway Capital Wolverines, and they made me go over to their camp my second year in U18. So I went, and I did pretty good, for being a young guy, and obviously I wasn't able to play there for my last year, which I probably wouldn't have made it anyways. But I'm from Saskatchewan, right? But anyways, so I ended up after my last year of U18, they ended up calling me, telling me to have a good summer and stuff like that, and nothing but respect for that organization, and so I went into main camp there, and I ended up playing all like the preseason games, and then it was like, I think it was like 2 days prior to home opener. They finally called me into the office, and they told me like, sorry, but we made some trades, and like there's not enough room, and like it was fair, right? Because like at that point I kind of knew that I didn't really have much of a summer. So but and then right from way away I went home for a bit, and I had a couple options to go, and originally I wanted to head to the KI because growing up in the prairies, you think BC is all this, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to go to the KI so bad. So originally I tried to go to the KI. I tried to get on teams with my buddy. I'm not going to say the team. They're not really good right now, but but that ended up didn't work. And the plan fell through, and then yeah, sure enough, I got a call from Dryden, and then I felt like at the time that was the best option for me. So then I made the trip up there, and I was there for a month, and I was being like a typical rookie in and out of the lineup, right? You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta handle that, but at the same time it's like it's kind of hard to transition from that, because you go from U18 to junior. It's a completely different hockey game, and I was in Dryden for a month, and then it just kind of came to terms that it's not the place where I wanted to be. I feel like I would have better of a chance to become a better hockey player if I played more minutes on like a crappier team. So then I asked out on the wire, and then was talking to a couple teams, and yeah, I ended up landing with Fort Francis, and nothing but respect for that organization as well. They treated me really good, and then I spent the year there, and yeah, and then all of a sudden this year happened. I went back to Fort, and I was there for a month again, and then it was kind of like things were going my way, I guess, right? Like last year, I was on power play, and it's kind of hard not to be on power play. So just that, and it's like at the same time, you don't really want to live in a shithole of a town. I love Fort Francis with there, but it's just like, oh, it was hard to wake up and go to the rink every day for sure. So it's just I can't.
What's the town like?
Oh my god, you won't
Uh,
believe. Okay, so
Yeah.
I actually talk with this to like all the fellas who I play with out here, and like it's just like it's just there's a mill, so it always smells like ass. Like you're waking up and it's
oh,
cold as fuck outside, and you're just like you're just miserable. You have the same schedule every day. You're on the ice twice a day, and then you're fucking pumping iron, and then you play games, and then rest on Sunday and do it all again for 8 months. So like it was yeah, it was definitely a struggle. And then yeah, and then I hopped on the wire, and then one of my buddies, shout out to my bro Jake Yakubowski, gave me a shout to Winger, and Winger liked my game, and then yeah, it worked out. So I flew over here and yeah, played with the Tsunami. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I kind of just want to rewind a little bit there and ask a little bit more about just your time in the SI, because like I mean, statistically, you looked like you had a really good first year in Fort Francis. And so I don't know a ton about the SI. So if you can maybe just talk a bit more about the league and the level compared to maybe the PJ or the
Yeah.
VI, as well as just like your experience there and in the town. Like, do you have any like crazy stories from your time in Fort Francis or things like that?
Yeah. So one of the funnier things that playing preseason, obviously I get that I only played preseason and with Wayway, but like we played against Yorkton, Nipawa, Swan. Anyways, so like that hockey was good hockey, right? So like that's where like I was able to learn different play styles, and playing those preseason games, you're able to tell from like the pace and how dialed everyone is in the room. But like same thing goes for the SI, because like the SI is really the SI is a league where it's kind of it's built for players like who like honestly could be in the lineup for MJ, and like there's just no room for them, or else like they're trying to get back to the MJ. So like the SA is yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So like the SI is basically kind of like it's like a farm team for like the SJ or MJ, I guess. But like it's still a really good league. And like
Okay.
I remember my first month in the SI, and I was like, you know what? Like this is actually like really good hockey. Like I have to be dialed if I want to be a really good hockey player in this league. So then like like I'm not gonna lie, I've never really been in the gym guy myself, but then, being in the SI kind of like forced me to be in the gym, because like I knew that there were people around me who were getting better because they wanted to make another team. And like it was honestly completely fair, and like I joined them, and then I ended up having a really good year and getting really good. But like just just into like comparison, it's just the SI compared to the Pidge is the SI has only what seven, 8 teams. So like you're playing like the same teams for a
Right.
lot of times throughout the year. And the SI is like a lot rough, and like the pace is really fast. But it's just like going over to the Pidge, it's kind of more like a skill guy league, I guess you can say. Like it's
Yeah.
just I don't know.
fair
Like
enough.
my thought on the Pidge is that like it's honestly like a very inconsistent league. I don't mean to be a hater, but like that's just what I think.
That's 100%.
It's just like the good teams are good, but like the bad teams are just like shitters. So it's like,
Yeah.
but then like you come over to the VI, and like I'm not gonna lie, coming over to the VI, and it's like fuck, this is a lot of skating. It just like took me by surprise. And then I later found out, because like I totally forgot that the VI wasn't a part of Hockey Canada. So then like
Yeah.
I came over, and then yeah, my first game against Peninsula, it was for sure a lot more pace in the pitch, for sure. I would honestly say the
Okay.
VI is like
Interesting.
pretty similar to the SI, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Good to
Yeah.
know.
And
That's good.
yeah, so one of the funny moments in the town of Fort Francis. So this is honestly shout out to my boy Foster Cuvier. But so like start of the year this year, like all we would do was we would practice, and like there would be like 8 of us just literally go golf. Like whether it's like 27 holes, 36 holes, we'd do that. And then anyways, me and my buddy Fosty, me and my buddy Fosty were golfing there. And then sure enough, I remember there was this guy working at the pro shop, and he was Indigenous, eh? And then I remember Frosty, we went up to the guy and he was like, "Oh man, there's no way this guy's gonna charge us, right? Like, man, we play for Fort Francis." And so then all of a sudden, sure enough, he tries to go and they try to charge him. I go in, and then I pull my chief card or whatever, let him know. And then sure enough, we get on for free. So yeah,
That's
that's probably
awesome.
one of the best ones for sure. Yeah.
Nice course or what?
Oh yeah. Just really nice. And yeah, so like the course is actually really nice, 18 holes, and it's actually cool because the greenskeeper are actually on our team. We have his name is Emerson
Oh,
Evans, and so
nice.
he was like the main guy, and he'd always grab some guys who are from Manitoba just to come help him, like day on day off type stuff. But yeah, it was nice. It was fun. Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
That's good, bro.
And then I was just, I mean, obviously, like we briefly just talked about coming to Coastal, but I mean, obviously that's, moving all the way across the country. So what was your experience like in Coastal and playing for Winger and just the facilities, the fan base, and your whole experience this year in the PJHL?
Yeah, so obviously, when I first came over, when I first made the trip there, my first skate with the team, I was able to tell right from that practice, it was kind of like, okay, we kind of have to give it some time. It was a lot slower to what, like to what I was used to for sure. But it's just like at the same time, like I can understand where Winger, where our GM Hopper, and the whole staff is trying to do with this program. And I stuck by it, and I was like, you know what, like even though maybe this year we're not as good, but then like this can open like a lot of doors for us next year. So then I stuck with it, and nothing but respect for Winger, great coach. It's not often you have a coach, dabbing you up whenever you see him. So obviously that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and yeah, obviously it was always nice to play in front of a packed barn. You'd almost sell out every crowd, so like every game was hype.
Yeah.
Even if we're playing Delta and we're getting low key pumped, it's still a packed barn, so it's so like
Yeah.
it cancels out, I guess, right? And yeah, I feel like the program itself is moving in a very good direction. Obviously we could have had a better year this year, but I feel like this summer for sure, hopefully this BCHC things happens, hopefully. And
Yeah.
I feel like we're able to load up this summer and actually have a deep, stronger team next year. I'm gonna try to bring over some of my buddies from SAS. So
That's
Nice.
yeah,
good.
heck yeah.
So are
Yeah, so
you
that
allowed to?
was yeah, sorry,
I was
go.
gonna. I
You
was gonna
asked, you were
ask.
gonna ask the same thing.
We were gonna ask the same thing. We're yeah.
Mhm.
You're allowed to flip flop, so you can go to the VI and then come back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Really?
So if I'm being honest, so actually, funny story about what happened
So
was it was like,
because what we were thinking was we thought you went to Kerry Park and like it's gone, like you're done. You're staying there.
honestly,
That's what I thought at least. I don't know.
if I'm being
Well, there
honest,
was
like
how many guys from Coastal went there? Was it four of you?
four of us, but then one of our buddies had to
Yeah.
leave early, so he's back in Manitoba right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, right now
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
me, Stinner, and Parksy. Parksy's in the room right now,
Yeah.
sleeping beside me. So, but yeah. So actually, funny story about what happened was end of the year was coming, and then this is when Stinner left, and Stinner is one of like my best friends, my best buddy. That was my D partner, and we were able to like we were just like
Right.
top two shoot the shit in the room. That was us, like just literally marinate for a good 2 hours until we get ready to fucking go to war out there. But end of the year came, and he left to KP, and we're all kind of bummed out, but it was his 20 bomb year, and you know what, all of us agreed that he should be able to come back here and have fun for his last couple months of junior hockey and be on a winning team. And then all of a sudden, like
Right.
I remember Parksy, we were driving around in Gibsons, and like this was like honestly a day before our last game, and then he was talking about the VI, and like he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I just got a call from this team." Then I was like, "What? You're gonna go to the VI?" And then I was like, "Well, how do you do that? Isn't the deadline January 10th?" He was like, "Oh no, man, they're not a part of Hockey Canada." And I was like, "Oh shit, really?" So yeah, sure enough, I got on it. Reached out to a couple teams, see what would happen, and yeah, all of a sudden, Coxie, I didn't reach out to KP because I was like, hey, well, let's see, like I kind of want to live in Vic because Vic would be fucking sick. Anyways, and then all of a sudden, our owner there, Coxie, gave me a call, and he wanted me to come on over. And I was like, you know what, fucking right, that sounds perfect. And then yeah, so I hopped over, and I got introduced to a very nice group, good hockey team. It was nice to have some of my Tsunami bros come over with me, and yeah, I got blessed with the billet situation too. I have really nice billets, and yeah, it's been nothing but smiles since I've been over here.
That's awesome.
That's great, man.
Yeah, and then so obviously you're like we mentioned at the start, you're coming off a big first round series win right now against Victoria. So just how are the boys feeling right now for the next round and for the rest of the season here? And yeah, just how's your full experience been in KP so far?
Who do you got round 2?
Peninsula.
Okay,
Yeah.
good team.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one.
So that'll be a good one. Yeah. So yeah, obviously the boys are fired up. Obviously the first 2 games were, pretty haywire, I guess you could say. But I just want to start off by saying, send out, my condolences, and all my heartfelt sadness to like the Downey family. I just met Phil, and he was a great guy to me.
Yeah.
And so obviously that was pretty hard, because one of our buddies there, Liam Downey, he's always hanging out with us. He's always in the room, and having a guy so close to the team, it took a toll on the boys for sure. But at the same time, we were able
Yeah.
to handle that adversity and push through and be able to play for him. And yeah, obviously we were down the first 2 games, which is pretty hectic because like I just got to give it to Victoria. Like they played really good hockey. They were they were uh, they were playing simple. Just shooting on net and just like pounding at the puck, and it worked. And then game 3 happened, and I had to start stepping up and doing my job and trying to do anything I can.
You get involved, or?
Oh yeah, I tried so hard. Wilson didn't want to go me, so see you later, Cappy. Hey, you had a good season, pal. Reinhardt wanted to fight me, but he didn't want to go me. So hey, have fun swinging the clubs for me, hey pal. Cheers. Yeah, so I'm still looking for one in the VIJ. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for one in the VI.
You don't have one?
Oh my god, I love it.
Sign the contract.
You don't have
Sign
one
the
yet?
contract.
They don't want it? What do you get? They get scared on the ice, or
Well,
what?
I mean, like,
what goes into you asking? Like, what do you say?
well, I mean, like, it all depends, really. So, like, I don't know if you guys saw, but like, obviously, I got in some fights in the pitch, and so what happened with that?
Yeah, you came top 3 on best fighters or something.
Yeah, with
I think.
that.
Owen, what was that?
With that William. Yeah, I think I got second after that Dawson Suke. So, shout out Dawson Suke. You couldn't
Yeah.
step up when I asked you to, but hey, I'll be back next year. And then, anyways, so yeah, so like that William Hugh guy, I'm not gonna lie, he's a great hockey player, and then he gave our goalie, like a little shove when we were on the power play, and I was honestly kind of fed up because we were playing like shit. So, drop the gloves, elbow pads, see you later, mouth guards, see you later, fought, whatever. So that happened, and then yeah, obviously that went viral. And I'm still waiting for one in the VI, so hopefully I can get one here pretty soon. And like I'm honestly not the guy to be like a scum and just like, come on. Actually, not gonna lie, I low key auto shed like twice. Anyways, but like no, it's just like when I'm in a fight, I'll either go up to the guy and I'll be like, hey, you want to go? And they're also just like, you fucking want it? I'll call you. Let me know. And then yeah, I'll just get off. But hey,
That's awesome, dude. That's I was wondering that.
Yeah, at least I know my role.
I'm a goalie, so I don't really get that aspect of it. So I'm just kind of the guy that's watching. So You're the one
I'm glad
defending me, so I'm wondering what goes into that.
Yeah,
So.
but like obviously,
I'm glad I
like,
aged out this year so I didn't have to play against you.
well, I mean, like obviously when I ask guys, obviously, it's I honestly can't tell if they're scared or not. But like then again, it also you got to play in the factor where it's like, it
They
is.
gotta know who you are,
Hey,
eh? They gotta know who you are,
yeah,
eh?
yeah, exactly. Like I'm just trying to make a name for myself out here. I love BC. BC has my heart,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to do everything I can to get my name
That's
out there.
great, buddy.
Yeah.
I love all that,
You gotta
man.
pick your time in the
Well,
playoffs. You can't be
yeah,
you
true.
gotta the time's gotta be
Yeah,
right, right?
yeah. I tried Vic, and I already know Peninsula. No one's gonna want to fight. So hopefully we go to the finals and I can get one. It would be nice to go CR for sure.
Yeah, for
Yeah, it'd be
sure.
nice.
They got some guys who
Oh
will go,
yeah, they
yeah, I
got some
think.
big boys. Like I might get hummed,
I think right.
but it would be worth it. I would love it.
Awesome, dude.
Well, I got one more hockey related question here for you. So I mean, we kind of roughly talked about it last year, but if you're willing to say, what are the plans for next year? Obviously, it'll be your last year of junior hockey, and just the future moving forward for you. Are you looking to play college, or what's in the future for you after the season?
Yeah, so sorry, just to kind of go around the question real quick, but so before this season in the summertime, like I tried to have a summer, but at the end of the day I wasn't skating and working out as much as I should, but like I still try to, even though I didn't really. But like it came, 2 days before camp in Fort Francis. It's like I don't really know if I want to play hockey. Like I already played 1 year
Oh
junior. I
wow.
lived out there, and it's like, I don't, I could just work at home and, be a U chief for my people and, just work on that. And then one time, my mom was talking to me and, she was just being straight up and, she just told me, she was like, okay, well, you either pack it in and sell all your gear now or else, you can get into the or else you can keep playing hockey. There's not a lot of people who have this opportunity. And I was like, you know what? That'll do it. So I went, and then
It's a good
yeah,
mindset, actually. It's a good
yeah,
point.
yeah. And so then
Yeah.
I went. I'm happy I did because being over in BC, experiencing new scenery, new hockey, it really did revive my career. And right now my plan is I already paid for my ice sessions this summer, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be nasty next year. but
As a 20, eh?
yeah, yeah, but yeah, no, it's really just like honestly, it's kind of I kind of have my honestly don't know what I'm gonna do in the summertime. I have a couple offers here and there, for some more junior teams, but at the same time, I have to talk to my mom and talk to my family and peers and see what they think, right? Because overall, as
Nice.
much as I want to play hockey for me, it's my pride is for my family. That's who I play hockey for, and I just want to make sure that I'm on the same page as them. But yeah, it's kind of still in the air. It's kind of my thought right now is just, once this is done, go back home, golf and rest, and not think about hockey until June, and go from there.
That's
Yeah,
good, man. You need a
yeah,
break. You can't be going
yeah.
12 months of the year, right? It's
Exactly,
it's too hard, too much.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
I do the same thing, so that's
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah,
Great. Well, I guess we'll kind of move, kind of trans. Well, not really transition because it's kind of more asking about the balance. But obviously, like we mentioned earlier, you're the youth chief of Saskatchewan. So could you kind of just get into just describing what that role means, how you got into it, and just what it means to you, like as in depth as you want to.
yeah. So this summer, I was able to. I knew the past two U Chiefs because so there used to be two U Chiefs and there was a male and a female, and so shout out to Brock Forstar and Haley Rose. But I was really close friends with both of them. One thing you should know about me is like I'm very traditional. I know my roots. I know where I come from. I'm into ceremony. I sing. I know my language. But like she was like I was really interested in the work that she did because I didn't know what like a U chief would do because obviously when you hear like a U chief you're like, oh, I wonder what they do. So then I remember this one time we were talking and then she was going over all the stuff and then at the time I was working with two elementary schools, one in Whitecap First Nation just outside of Saskatchewan, and Bedford Road. And so what I was doing is I was actually teaching the kids how to sing, and like, basically just teaching them protocol about, how to drum on the drum. You have to be sober when you sing, right? Stuff like that. And and then yeah, all of a sudden, she brought it up and she was like, well, why don't you run? Because like my term's ending this summer. And I was like, no, man, there's no way I can do that. And then I went home, and then my mom saw like a post for elections, and she was like, yeah, yeah, do it. So then I was like, okay, sure. And like going into election time, I kind of had the thought where it was like, if I get in, I get in, but if I don't, I tried. Right. So it was kind of,
Is it like a political thing?
yeah,
Like you gotta like
yeah,
run and like
yeah.
that's actually
Yeah,
insane, man.
Wow, that's really
it's like an
cool.
event. Yeah, yeah. So then so obviously I found a nominator and a seconder, and I was able to campaign for like only like 2 days because it was like a youth event, but I still campaigned and stuff. But but yeah, and then all of a sudden election day came up, and I gave my speech and I said what needed to be said, and yeah, I ended up getting in, and being U chief. And obviously it's a huge milestone for me and my family, because obviously everyone knows getting into politics is could be pretty crazy. Like you have to be brave to be into politics, and you really have to know who's on your side and who's not. But yeah, obviously it means a lot for me being U chief because like I play hockey, and like I should be, um, basically what I want to do with being U chief is just provide something for our young ones. Like I played in Fort Francis, and obviously I was struggling that whole year, right? Because you're in a shitty town, you're playing hockey every day, and it's some days you don't even want to be in your bed because you just feel alone. But I was able to cope through ceremony, song, smudge. I was always taught healthy coping mechanisms, when times get tough. And that's one of the main things that I want to teach, is because I played hockey, and I didn't have to resort to alcohol or drugs that whole year last year, for that whole time I was struggling. And like I'm very proud of that. And like that's one thing where I think is, if all of our people, start learning our language, learning our songs, learning our teachings, learning everything, basically about our tradition, then our way cannot be stopped, and we can adapt a new way than rather us being, stereotypes like homeless, gangs, addicts, stuff like that. Because obviously, growing up in a city, right, you're gonna get stereotyped, right? And it's just that's the reality now. But at the same time, 10 years in the future, we have to find a way to where our people will be looked at differently, respected differently. And that's one of the main things that I want to do, as a youth chief, is basically to learn more about politics, and basically to get tough skin, because I've already experienced a lot of pretty pretty hectic stuff in politics. But without hectic stuff, you can't learn anything. So yeah.
Wow, that was an incredible answer.
Thanks.
That's,
Thanks.
yeah, very, very inspirational and noble, like what you're doing and your whole view on it and your goals behind it. That's yeah, that's really, really
Thanks, bro.
impressive.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and then I just kind of had one more question revolving around that. So, what was it like managing it, not being in Saskatchewan and with being a junior A hockey player most of the time? Like, you obviously have a really busy schedule. So, what was it like trying to balance, that job, with everything else you've going on in your life as well?
Yeah, yeah. So obviously it was pretty hard, like the first 2 months, September, October, November there. It took me a lot of navigating to do, and it all falls down on, like your schedule, and overall just, having a healthy routine. So like I would still have meetings. I would just do everything through my computer. And so like I did all of my meetings, through like via Zoom, stuff like that. And I would just do everything remotely. And yeah, that's really about it. Like yeah, yeah. For the whole year, I just basically just had to play hockey and just work from my computer. But I still did manage to do some work, but it's not as much as I should do. But it's just like
Right.
it kind of falls on like where I am and like the stuff I'm doing, especially during playoffs, right? Like I have a very hectic schedule going on right now during playoffs, but yeah, I was able to get through it. So
Cool. Well,
That's awesome.
I don't. Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm good there on if you want to wrap.
Yeah, I know. He wanted Joe. You told me earlier you had a question for us. You wanna ask it again real quick.
yeah. So
What was
so the one question I had was instead of like the PJHL players doing the polls, like what would you guys say for like the polls?
for what? For
So
like best
yeah.
player and
So like
shit? I
let's
don't
go,
know.
let's go. We'll do we'll
So
do we'll do best player, and then we'll do top D man, king of the jungle, and then what's a fun one? Uh, let's go
like worst place to play or
yeah,
something?
yeah. Let's go worst place to play. We'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe, just do your best because obviously you're not.
Well, okay, yeah. So I played in Revelstoke for 3 years, so I'm a
Okay.
KI guy. So I haven't followed the PJ, and I haven't really followed the PJ since I was an Outlaws fan back in 16. I know, guys. Yeah, we played against PJ team once a
Okay.
year, twice a year, maybe if we in the
Yeah.
Cyclone, right? But for best player, probably it's hard to argue with the guy who won. Like the guy won by like a fucking landslide was
Yeah.
Lagrange,
Yeah.
right? Best D man, I'm gonna go with my commitment. The buddy who committed to come play with me is
Yeah.
Ravenstein.
Yeah.
So I gotta
Yeah.
go with
Wait,
him.
so are you a jury? Okay.
Yeah, I'm at
Nice.
jury
Nice.
right
Nice.
now. Yeah, it's pretty awesome down here. I'm having a
Yeah,
fucking
that's
blast.
sick,
But
man.
what was the third? What were the last three there?
Last three, we'll go.
Best
We'll
four. I
go.
did
King of
best
the
player,
Jungle.
King of the Jungle. Okay, here's my issue, bud. Because like I haven't been able to
Yeah, which
watch
is fair.
since you guys switched to
Yeah.
fucking visors, right?
Yeah.
So I've only seen the clips. I've only seen the clips of what I think this is a good statement to make is that fucking animal with the cage on,
Ferraro.
that Owen was talking. Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy. If he had a visor on, he'd probably be the king.
Oh, dude, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Like, oh, that was the one part because he asked me to go. I remember it was like our last game against Poco, and like he lined up beside me, and I was like, man, this is low key like a perfect. But then, like, I'm not gonna lie, I saw that video of him and who was it, Langley? Was it Langley? Where he was just fucking pumping
Was
the
it that
guy.
that view of like him right on the glass there? Yeah, just feeding him.
North
Oh,
Van.
really? Yeah. But anyways, he like had him and was just fucking like pucking him around, man. And then like I remember I was like, man,
Yeah.
he has a cage. I mean, if he had a visor, like I would have a chance. But like, fuck cage. Like if I don't get it
Did
off,
you
I'm
and
fucked.
Suki ever go
No, no.
or
So
suck or?
like I tried. I like honestly, like I'm not even joking. You can ask any of my teammates. Like I honestly don't care who it is. Like I just ask. Like I just go to the bench and I'm like, just someone help me out here. And no one steps up, and it's just like, well, shit,
Yeah.
like, fuck.
I would say whoever won between you and him in a fight would probably take King of the Jungle, but you guys never went.
Yeah, true. Of the pitch, and like special shout out to my boy Dane Henry. So that was my D partner.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah. So that was my D partner for NAC. That was my roommate for a week. We played Team Saskatchewan for the
Yeah.
national Aboriginal Hockey Championships. Big shout out to him because he's actually tough. Like he's like fucking jacked, fucking big fella. And dude, like he's a good hockey player. Great hockey player.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So hopefully.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I can pick between those two,
Yeah.
like you and Suck if you guys haven't gone, but
Honestly,
I think that's for
I
me.
would honestly have Dane Henry for King of the Jungle.
Henry, eh?
I would have Dane Henry. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's just like, man, like
Is Howling
he's
gonna have
like his brother.
a visor on next year?
Eh? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is
Yeah, he
Howling gonna
will.
have a
Yeah.
visor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe next year's player polls will be
Yeah.
different, but
No, but it's just like you know, Dano, like his brother's Matt Henry, you know, like fucking big and force in the dub, you know, was a big guy, you know, and fucking, you know what, Dane's a great D man, and if I'm being honest, he shouldn't have been in the pitch. That's just you know, like he's a great hockey player, and like he's fucking a big boy, and he can huck. He can huck. So like that's who I got
That's
myself.
good, man.
And plus he's fucking native. Like
Okay.
fuck, come on. Let's be honest. There's not a lot of guys who want to go natives here in BC.
No, yeah, you guys
Dude,
dominate,
that's
man.
yeah, it's just like how it goes, I guess. You know, I don't know what it is.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
bro. What were the last two? It was King of the Jungle and then
We'll
what?
go worst place to play. Yeah.
Worst place to play? Worst place to play or worst?
We'll
Yeah,
go
worst
we'll
place
go
to
like we'll
play.
go worst rank and worst place.
I'd say it's hard to argue that White Rock's not the worst.
If I'm being honest, I hated White Rock. I hated White Rock.
Yeah,
I
the
will
rank
say
for place to play, and then Aldi for place to
True.
beat, like the actual
Yeah.
team. Like you gotta
Yeah,
take
true.
Aldi. I think that's
Yeah,
unanimous.
true. Yeah, no, but White Rock. I will say
they go
White
over?
Rock has amazing pregame tunes. Like the warm ups are electric. You know, you're just singing the whole time. So I will say good warm up tunes. But fuck it, like it's dark. The rooms are tiny, and you know we all have to squish in one room.
Everything in that place is small.
Yeah, and like we don't even get two rooms. We get one room. So it's like what the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elson, let's hear yours, buddy.
Yeah, well, so for best player, like it's very hard to argue Lagrange, but I mean, Mateo Perro had the same points per game as him.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that kid was nasty, and then another guy like Grady Lenton came down from the dub. I think he's over 3 points a game in playoffs right now.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie. So
those two, I think, could rival Lagrange for sure.
if I'm being honest, I actually did put Grady Lenton, because that's the one guy who fucking knocked me off my feet all year. You know, big guy, really, you know, fucking big guy, but he's skilled. You know, like he has hands, and like his like he just has a touch. You know, like he has like that sauce where it's like not too high, not too low. Like he just has that touch. You know, like he's a really skilled player for sure. And then like yeah, you know, same with Perro. Perro's a great player. Like
Nasty.
he's pretty nasty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for D-Man, so to be fair, the only time I ever watched this guy play was at the All-Star game. And well, okay, I'll do two guys again. It's too hard for me to pick one. So Braden Wynn came down from the WHL, had ridiculous numbers, but was hurt a lot. So I think it's probably him. But Eric Stinson, watching him at the All-Star game, I couldn't believe how like silky that guy was, and he's huge. His skating, his head is like it's those like head cams they put on NHL players, and they're moving.
Yeah.
They're moving, and like you see their head. That's literally what he just looks like watching.
Yeah.
I thought he was so nasty. So he would be up there for me. Him and Wynn, I think, would be my 1 and 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Honestly, like Wynn, nasty. You know what? Cheers to him. You know, great hockey player. Obviously, he could have done a lot more if he wasn't hurt. But like, fuck, man, he won a ship with the fucking Oil Kings in the dub. You know, that's pretty fucking sick. You know,
That's
like,
unreal.
Dude, he's nasty. Like, fuck, he was gross. And like, I'm not trying to glaze anyone, but like, fuck, man, like he was good. And like Stinner, yeah, Stinner is just like. I'm not gonna lie, like I love Stinner so much, but it's just like he's one of those hockey players who should not be fucking good at all. At all. Like I'm talking about this guy shows up to, a 7th.
Oh, no preparation, like doesn't care?
Exactly, like man, this guy shows
that type
up. Him and Bryce him and Bryce or Burnett there, they'll show up to the rink like hour 15 before game. They won't even slap on like any dress clothes. They're wearing, fucking Reebok shoes, Lulus, and fucking, like a quarter zip. Just marinating in the room,
That's like
locker room guys. And then like, and then all of a sudden you look over at Stinner and he's sipping a fucking Pepsi pregame, and you're like, what the fuck? And he goes out there and he just like, and he fucking pa-ting, it's like, what the fuck? Like it's so crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nasty.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, King of the Jungle, it is hard to argue Dane Henry. And then, like, Howling with a Visor, I want to see it really bad as well. And I don't think I even saw any videos of your fight. So I'd like to put you in there just based on reputation, but I got to see this clip you were talking about that went viral.
Like if I'm being honest, man, like I only got in one fight this whole year because like that fucking Hugh guy, whatever it's called. So like that Hugh guy, he was the only guy who was like actually willing to drop. But like anyone else, I've either had to auto shed, or else just drop my gloves and go to the box and look like a fucking tool. So it's yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fair enough. Yeah. Then
But
I'll
like
probably
I
do
mean,
Dan Henry and then.
I wouldn't say I'm like a tough guy. I'm kind of like a skill guy stuck in a tough guy body, you know.
No, I get that.
At least try to be a skill guy. At least.
Yeah. And then for worst place to play, I would hate to play in Grandview at Burnaby Winter Club. I had someone send me like a picture of their room and stuff after we said like they'd be the worst place to play. The room is actually sick and all that.
It's nasty.
But so if you're playing for the team, it probably wouldn't be as bad. But like fucking Burnaby, like I go to school there, and just driving out there and being there, I really don't like it there. So I think that would be up there for me.
Yeah.
North Van too, just because of like their current rink, but the team's always
New
so
rink
good.
inbound, though.
I wouldn't really, like, and then as far as like, what would we say? So that was like for facility, and then like place, Aldi, like just based on the current situation, Aldi Grove. Like it's hard to choose anyone else there.
Yeah.
Maybe Port Moody too.
Yeah, no, I don't like. I just don't know how to describe that rink. You know, like you go in and it looks like a shitter rink.
Weird,
and
eh?
all of a sudden, like the back rink and it's actually nice, and it's like, what the fuck? Like,
that's the first year they played on that ice, though. They used to play on the small one every
really?
other year. Like I played one game ever on the big ice and it was last year, maybe two.
Oh shit, eh? Oh yeah, and how about fucking Fernie getting swept? That's
You want to go over the
Tell me-
KI? You want to go over the KI with us?
dude, I'm not even joking. Like I know so much like about it. Like I just have friends who like love the KI. So like I know everything about
Really?
like a lot of junior leagues. Oh yeah.
Well, okay, so full transparency, me and Owen were gonna do a little KI review like recap of the first round and kind of update everyone. But if you want to stay on, you can record with us if you want.
I'll stay on.
Yeah, might as well.
Be a whole episode with you.
I'll stay on, fellas, if you want me to. Fucking right.
Sure, buddy. Okay, cool. Okay, I gotta pull up the website here, but
I'm gonna...
we don't have anything else for the interview questions though, eh, Owen?
No, I think we're done with the interview. So just thank you so much for that interview. That was an awesome one. Again, like so in depth, and just your position as the youth chief as well and what you're doing with that for First Nations youth is incredible. So just props for that, and thanks a ton for coming on for the interview. But yeah, we can just move right into a little KI recap.
Okay, Pierre, let's go.
Exactly.
It might not feel like it, but spring is right around the corner. Know how you can tell? Golfers are hitting the links, and we have some tournaments to talk about. And if you want to do more than just talk, put your money where your mouth is. Get in on all the tee to green action with DraftKings Sportsbook. From Thursday's opening round through the closing round Sunday, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with tournament props, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. If you've never bet on golf before, it's easier than you think. Just pick something simple, like a golfer to win the tourney, and make your pick. It's that easy. Some of the odds I'm seeing here on DraftKings, we have Michael Kim at plus 900 to win, Ricky Fowler at plus 1400 to win, or if you really want to go with the gamble, Jordan Spieth at plus 6,000 to win. Those are just a couple of the ones that stood out to me. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. This podcast is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
I guess it's custom for me to take this one, Ellie?
Yeah, go for it, Joe. We'll just kind of
So-
touch in with our thoughts after. But
we had predictions a little bit, but so I guess we'll start in the Doug Burks. As of right now, 100 Mile and Williams Lake tied up in 2-2. Recently on Tuesday, 100 Mile won 1-0 in overtime.
in Williams Lake.
Fucking yeah, great game. But yeah, Kamloops fortunately got this sweep against Quesnel. I don't know about how Bennett's doing, but
Did they go 0-2 in their
yeah.
barn? They went 0-2, eh? Quesnel,
Yeah.
wow. That was like,
Yeah, both 1-goal games, and they lost in overtime.
wow.
Lost in
Yeah,
overtime last
like,
game.
if I'm being honest, honestly, like I honestly wouldn't expect Kamloops, but like fuck man, kudos to them. Like fuck man, Quesnel has a
Yeah,
sick atmosphere. Sick atmosphere.
I gotta say, I think that division is sneaky. Like they're all very similar teams, but I don't know. Kamloops coming like the fourth place team being Quesnel. I don't think they had very good of a shot.
Yeah, true.
Like, I think the closer series is definitely gonna be 100 Mile and Williams Lake, which is shown like it's 2-2 right now. Going back to 100 Mile right now, and it's best of 3 here. So
I got 100 Mile myself. Shout out to Alexander Kronipi, my homie.
you got a buddy? That's awesome.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Well, we can move to the Bill Olhausen division. That's Princeton, Sycamoose, Revelstoke, Merritt. Both series at 3-1 right now. Sicky stole game 2 over Princeton in their barn.
Wow.
And then Princeton barely won game 3 in overtime, and then a 2-0 win on Tuesday for Princeton as well, up 3-1. And then Revelstoke loses in overtime at Merritt. Merritt avoids the sweep.
No quitting Merritt.
No quitting Merritt. We love the coach in Merritt. We love Wes McLeod. Shout out, he got coach of the year in that division,
I saw that.
which is great.
Yeah, that was sick.
Great for him. Some stuff coming from Princeton. There's a lot of injuries, Owen, to key guys. So
Langdon, right?
Langdon was out. I don't know if he's been back, and a couple other guys. I'm obviously not going to say in the podcast because that's kind of unfair. But guys playing with injuries.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's definitely something to consider when you're talking about your top guys. You're relying more on your top guys, especially if
Langdon's not back
injured.
yet.
It's not good. He's not back in, so it could be something serious for him.
Wow.
And you don't want to see that, but could change the next series, especially if Revelstoke and Princeton end up meeting in that that divisional final.
Wait, so what's this that I hear about Princeton fucking finishing first like 5 consecutive years in a row and just like never getting to the fucking finals? Is that true? Like
They
always ran into Joe.
Yeah, we always played against them. No, they beat us one year. The year we hosted Cyclone Owen.
Yeah.
They beat us in the semifinals in 6, and they ended up losing in 6 in the finals. So we never actually saw them win the league.
Shit.
But they've won the President's Trophy.
Yeah.
The last every year I've been in the league and this year.
That is crazy. Wow.
Oh wait, no, not my first year because Oso won it my first year. Osoyus was nasty that year. But
Oso, I only know the Plywood Palace, Golden. Shout out to the homies in Golden.
Atwood didn't tell you about Oso?
Oh, he told me about Oso. Let me tell you. I remember the first time I saw him. Man, I asked Addy about his junior career. And let me tell you, that's one hell of a junior career. Holy.
No
shit.
kidding, hey.
Man, I told Addy someone can just pick him up like fucking every week now. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But great guy.
I feel like he was holding back some information about his career during our interview. I don't know. I don't think he wanted to share make a lot of that information public, but
Yeah, well, I mean, like, dude, if yeah, I mean, like, even me, like, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I fucking, I've had my share of junior hockey teams, but it's just kind of, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up in the KI fucking next year.
Yeah,
I
go to Revy,
honestly
buddy.
don't know like where my career is headed, but yeah, who knows? But I don't
Who
know.
knows,
I
man?
heard the KI is like sick for like barns and like atmosphere. Like I just heard like they get a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
it's like a hockey.
Every game, you go to like a top, like there's like top 6 teams for atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's all like Coastal probably.
Yeah, so that's sick. That
Yeah.
is sick.
And
And like who
you're
doesn't
not
want to
at
play
home,
pro?
you're away. It's like different atmosphere. It's different rinks too. It's fucking fun.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I remember last year, like almost right at the deadline actually. I almost went to 100 Mile actually. I was talking with Dale Hell,
This
dude.
honestly, hot take, 100 Mile isn't a horrible place to play now with the way that the divisions are structured.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, like obviously everyone knows 100 Mile is a shitter town, but like at the same time, like fucking sick rink, right? They get fans, don't
They
they?
get fans, dude.
Yeah. When they get fans,
Yeah.
and like Williams Lake is down the road, like it's not bad at all. Like,
Quinnell's not that far either, so
yeah,
it's like it used to be Revy was that was our furthest trip in division.
yeah.
4.5 hours to get there in division. We had to go there 4 times a year. It's fucking ridiculous. But
Wow.
when they got a division like that where it's close, it's nice. But
Yeah.
now let's jump to the Eddie Mountain. You already mentioned it. The Fernie Ghost Riders can't even pick up a game against the Columbia Valley Rockies. Get swept in 4. I had them coming back, Owen. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that. That's ridiculous, I think.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it. It sucks too because they got such like a great fan base, atmosphere. I
Yeah.
can't believe they lost the first 2 at home, and then that was just too much to climb back from. I guess
That's it.
like
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Like one of the
They
best.
couldn't even take
like,
one,
I think
man.
I think probably the best defenseman in the league with Eric Martin and then Taylor Haggerty up front. Like I'm really surprised that this happened to them, but that's the way it goes. Unfortunately, Columbia Valley swept because they refused to do the player polls for some reason. Don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, like holy beauties over there. Hey, fuck me. Wake
Maybe
up,
that's
man.
why they're so locked in on hockey that they can't do
Literally,
the player polls. That's why they won 4 rip.
bunch of fucking heroes over there.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we got the other series in the Eddie Mountain is Creston and Kimbo. And who'd have saw this coming, Owen? Last 2 games, a 7-3 win for Creston and a 6-3 win for Creston as well.
That is
on
crazy.
the hop. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
That was the other team that refused to do the polls. Creston and Columbia
ridiculous,
Valley.
man.
And they're both doing well.
That is
They weren't
crazy.
Yeah,
After
dude,
losing
maybe that's the key.
After
Man.
losing the first game 6 rip and losing 5-2 the next time, Creston puts up 13 goals in 2 games.
Unreal.
That is unreal. Honestly, if I'm being honest, the way that things are going, I low key feel like I low key feel like Creston could low key come away with that series. Cause man,
That
those
would be
last 2
fucking
games,
unreal.
man, they're gonna be hot, right? Like they're gonna have momentum and like fucking they're back in it, so like they're gonna want to win and like they're just gonna be more dialed.
Yeah, playing at Kimberly though is a hard place to go and win.
That's true.
It's a hard building to go into. It's a hard place to go win.
I heard a lot of stories about Kimbo. A lot of stories. Which
Yeah,
one's sorry to get off track. Which one's the place that gets like all the Aussies that just like get drunk and are just haywire?
That's either Revy or Fernie.
Okay. Yeah. Revy.
Revelstoke,
Yeah. Revy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Revy's
Yeah,
usually
that's where I
nasty every year
played.
though, eh?
That's where I played, yeah.
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 That's sick.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty unreal experience. It kind of kept me coming back there,
Yeah?
honestly.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
it was a
Yeah, man.
big factor into wanting to play there. But Kimbo's similar, and Fernie. Honestly, I can't believe Fernie lost 2 games at home. But yeah, both have great atmosphere. So we'll see. That's a best of 3 now. Series tied up at 2-2, and then the most boring division in the KI, the Neil Murdoch. Both have ended up in sweeps. Castlegar and Nelson both losing 4 in a row. I mean, Grand Forks is honestly might be my pick. I think it is my pick to win the league.
I think because I wanted Grand Forks, you ended up switching
Oh wait,
it just
no,
so it was
yeah,
different.
I switched
But
that.
you
Yes,
did say Grand Forks at first.
I didn't want to like hop on. Yeah, I guess. I think it.
I
Did
think you
I
ended
pick
up choosing
Reddy
Kimbo. I
or
think you
Kimbo?
chose Kimbo.
Fuck me, man.
I think so.
That's not a good pick
I could be
anymore.
wrong. I'll go back and take a look, but I
They
think
were
you
in
chose
control
Kimbo.
of Creston, man. Fuck.
Yeah, we'll see, dude.
Yeah,
We'll
Not
see.
good.
yeah. We'll see.
Not
Who knows?
good.
Who knows? Honestly, this might be absurd to say, but if Creston wins this series, I'll go with Creston. Honestly, it might be
I was
pretty
just gonna
crazy
ask
to
who
say,
you were gonna take.
but I mean, fuck,
To win
I
the
believe it,
league?
man. I believe it. Yeah, I believe it, man.
Creston to win the league.
They're due. They're due.
They're
They're
due.
due.
They're due. I
They're
was gonna
due.
ask your pick. That's hilarious, bro. What?
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
making it out the other side then?
Which one? Sorry.
Who's making it off the other side? So that would be like the side with Revy, Princeton, Kamloops, 100 Mile.
Honestly, I have the finals for that division being 100 Mile and Revy myself.
Okay.
But honestly, I feel like Revy's gonna take that series because like fuck, you go into Revy's barn, you're gonna fucking have a tough game. Like that's just how it is every game. It's fucking, it's hard to play in Revy's barn. And like I heard a lot of stories from my boys who play in the KI, and like I heard it's fucking like ridiculous to play there.
Yeah, it's fun.
Which is like perfect for fucking Revy because now they have all the power to win. Because like honestly, if you think about playoffs, dude, like playoff hockey is so different. Like fucking if you have like if one player is playing shit, the whole game is gonna be off. And like that's just how it goes. And it's like you fucking playoff time comes. You're gonna need like everything that you can get. Whether it's from the fans, whether it's from the bench. Like I find if you have like a really good crowd atmosphere, you're gonna be a more successful team. Because like fuck
Yeah.
man,
Yeah,
you're fucking
no,
cheering you on,
for
like
sure.
yeah, fucking right.
That's why
So-
the best
off
teams
of it,
in
right?
the best teams in the
Absolutely.
KI have the best atmospheres, man. It's the
Yeah,
best.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
which
Absolutely.
is like good, like it's fucking sick,
It's a
like
great
that's
take,
so
bro.
sick.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got your thoughts. We got everything. I think that's good
Yeah,
for
I
the
think
KI
that's
wrap
good.
up.
Man, thank you so much for hopping on and staying for the whole
Of course,
episode too.
man.
That's
And staying for the KI review. Fuck
yeah,
bud.
really
Fucking
appreciate it. And
exploits, eh?
yeah, you were full of material. So thanks a ton. And yeah, we'll probably follow up with you at some point. I feel like we have to have you on again in the future. That was so good. So
We'll have to get you
thanks
on
a ton,
next
man.
year.
For
Yeah,
sure. Sounds good. Let me know, fellas. Let me know.
sounds good, buddy.
Yeah, we will.
Fucking right.
Sounds
Thanks
good,
for having
man.
me, fellas, eh?
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks
Cheers,
for having
man.
me.
Have a good one.
Sure,
Thanks for coming. Sorry.
Cheers.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much to Caige Starr for coming on. What an interview! What a guy! Beyond his hockey career, I mean, to just the work he's doing as the youth chief is very very noble and inspirational. So really cool, and what a beauty! My goodness, what a beauty! But real quick, now we're just going to finish off the episode with rattling off the little quick VI and PJ playoff recap too. So the Kerry Park Islanders, as we talked about in the interview, knocked out the Victoria Cougars in 6 games. And in the other side, Peninsula and West Shore, a great series between two really good teams. Surprised it ended up being 4-1, but Peninsula took that one in 5 games. So Kerry Park will be playing Peninsula next. On the other side, not much to say. 2 sweeps. Campbell River sweeps Cowichan, and Port Alberni sweeps Comox. I think I had Comox in 7, so that was a bit of a rough pick there. But that's all for the VI. There's not too much else to delve into. We'll probably try and get more in depth in the future or in the later rounds. As for the PJHL, the Ridge Meadows Flames did not sweep the Surrey Knights. Surrey actually played a hell of a series. The Ridge's biggest win was 6-1, and that's with 2 empty netters. So Surrey's biggest loss was by 3 goals. They played some unbelievable hockey, so shout out to the Surrey Knights, but Ridge takes them down in 5. The Chilliwack Jets end up sweeping the Abbotsford Pilots in 4 games. There was a few really close games, a bit of a controversy in game 2 when Chilliwack scored a goal with like 30 seconds left or something. It was some scrums followed, and yeah, it was very interesting. But overall, I mean, Chilliwack moves on. They won in 4. As for the Tom Shaw, Joey, our predictions are brutal, by the way. Oh my God. Richmond takes down White Rock in 6 games. Never doubt Max Fowl. Good series by White Rock and a very controversial game winner in game 2 for Richmond, but Richmond takes it in 6. And the Delta IceHawks, after being down 2-1, end up smashing Poco in the last couple of games and end up winning that series in 6 games as well. The second round has also started already with Ridge beating Chilliwack 9-0 in game 1. Who would have saw that coming? My goodness, what is going wrong?
That's a statement win, man.
And then the Delta IceHawks have a 2-0 lead over the Richmond Sockeyes, 5-4 and 8-4 wins. So, and by the way, Joe, Nick Goyer, after telling us we were out to lunch with our predictions and Delta's going all the way, the guy's got 5 goals in the playoffs. As a defenseman.
Attaboy,
got
Goyer.
5 goals and 9 points in 8 games. So Goyer is just giving it to us, and Delta is giving it to us for doubting them. So it looking like a Delta Ridge final.
I should have went with my original thing. Never doubt Merrick Erickson, man. It's a great goaltender.
Fair enough. But yeah, and shout out Grady Lenton, 10 goals, 10 assists in 8 games in the playoffs so far. Matteo Schoberg, 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points in 8 games in the playoffs. And defenseman Ty Hemingway, 5 goals, 10 assists, 15 points in 8 games as well on Delta. Like, those guys are just fucking lighting it up. Also, one more quick shout out. Marcus Jack of the Poco Trailblazers, after getting voted most second overrated player in the league, put up a hat trick in game 2 to beat Delta, ended up scoring 9 goals and 4 assists in 8 playoff games. And your guys are saying he's overrated. Just wanted to throw that in there real quick. That's all we got for today, though. Joey, anything else to throw on here?
No, just thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, it's awesome. Download the pod. And yeah, we've been seeing a lot of increased viewership the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it's just been really good to see, and just thank you guys for the support.
Yeah, man. Like even like beyond. I mean, yeah, our downloads are up, our streams are up, like crushing our old records too. It's actually crazy. So thank you guys so much. Yeah. Like Joe said, please be sure to keep sharing it, keep downloading it, keep streaming. We're doing whatever we can to grow the pod, and we got some really exciting plans in the future with it too. So we're excited to keep going the rest of the year, and even just like the messages we've been getting on social media too, just like amazing support. So thank you all so much. It really does mean a lot, and we're excited to keep going moving forward. And KI player poll results coming very soon on the next pod, probably.
Oh yeah, we gotta mention that. KI player
they'll be coming very soon. The results are looking great.
Great responses.
Mm-hmm.
Great response.
Did you see the guy who won best player in the KI also won most overrated? We won't say who it is yet, but just a little tidbit to drop.
I didn't see you didn't send me the.
You can guess who it is though. Who do you think won best player? And then he won most overrated as well, which is funny. But anyways, we'll leave it on that.
Yeah, there's so many good. Okay.
We'll leave it on that.
Yeah, okay. That's a speculation.
But yeah, so just thank you all so much. Please continue to support, and we'll see you in the next one.